Hey guys, welcome back to another Horror Magnet YouTube video. Today we're going to be doing a horror franchise tier list. I'm actually with my two editors today. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Yo.
Today I'm going to start off by explaining the tiers. So at the top we have best of the best must watch, which means if you consider yourself a horror fan, I consider these franchises necessary to watch to really be a true horror fan.
Even if you're not a horror fan.
Even if you're not a horror fan, they'd still be definitely worth watching.
Ourselves?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I'm Jonathan.
His name is not actually Jonathan, it's Vasquez.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Ricky.
Okay,
No, it's not. I was lying.
Okay, Ricky.
My name
Okay, let's get back to explaining the tiers, huh?
My name is Abraham.
Okay, so so I've already explained the top. Worth a watch means that, you know, it's worth a watch. It's not a must watch, but definitely you should watch it if you just have some free time. B is also if you have the time watch, but this is more if you have like a whole day to yourself that you have nothing else to do. Just watch it. A is more set aside some time to watch it. B is if you have free time already, watch it. C is if you're like an avid horror fan and you've seen a ton of franchises, you can watch these because it's just sort of something you should see, I guess. And the second one is terrible, don't watch. Even if you're a horror fan, don't waste your time on these. I think a lot of them are really bad in the franchise, and that's that. So how about we get to the rankings?
Oh, one more thing before we start. This should be pretty evident, but we're doing franchises, not singular movies from these franchises. But let's get into it.
Okay, so
Would you like to start us off?
yeah. Let's just go from the basic of the tier list. Yeah, the start. So Friday 13th. What's the consensus?
What do you guys think?
I think we should.
That's best of the best.
Really, bro? Though
I think it's worth class.
I think it's worth a watch.
I haven't seen all of them.
I think it's worth a watch because like a lot like
It's pretty iconic though.
through Manhattan. After Manhattan, the series just was bad.
Yeah, but it's all about like the first three, you know.
The first three are not that good either. It's 4 and 6. That's where the homies. That's the movie all the homies love.
All right, so what are y'all thinking?
I think it's worth a watch. If you like, I'm gonna say worth a watch. I think it's worth a watch.
And you?
I thought it was the
Vasquez?
best, but you know what? Yeah, I agree. I agree with the boys on this one.
Yeah, I will put it in worth a watch.
Worth a watch.
All right, next we got Alien.
Bruh, it's gotta go in best of the best. I'm gonna be real with you, fam. I think the original one changed the genre. Then I think the second one is really good. 3rd and 4 are iffy.
And not only that, I just want to add something. They really kept the series relevant with the spinoff of Prometheus.
Yeah, I
and
actually-
recently with Covenant.
I actually liked Prometheus and Covenant.
Very well made movies.
That was an unpopular opinion, and I liked the new Xenomorphs. They branched out of your good old Xenomorphs, and you got like Neomorphs and stuff.
I haven't seen Alien, or any of the Alien movies, but I'm gonna take their word for it and put it in best of the best.
Good man.
Nightmare on Elm Street. I think this is the superior. I think this is the best 80s horror franchise, best of the best. I think Freddy's funny throughout all the movies. 1 through 3 are the best, even 2. I like 2, unpopular opinion. 3 is by far the best in my opinion. But I think all of them are really good besides the remake, but still. The original 7 are definitely a must-watch for a horror fan, and even if you aren't a horror fan, you have to see the original one at some point. So that's my consensus. You?
All right, so I would actually put this on worth a watch because, like Alien, it does not hold up until its final movies, you know? Because Wes Craven, I mean, rest in peace to the guy, but he sort of disappointed me with the remake, and I thought that they could have done a lot better. So that.
He didn't direct the remake, bro.
Oh, that's awkward. Okay, I'm just gonna send this to Abraham.
All right.
Well, Wes Craven didn't direct the remake. The remake was a disappointment anyway. I agree with that. I agree with Jeremiah on that one. I don't know.
So I don't have I don't have much to talk about this series because I've seen one movie and it was quite some time ago from this franchise. From what I did see, I really liked it, and I would give it worth a watch. So, are you guys fine with worth a watch?
Yes.
I'll take it. Sure, worth a watch.
Cool. Next, we got Child's Play.
If you have the time, watch. That's like where I'm going. First of all, I'll let So, like, thanks. The first two are both amazing. I like Child's Play 2 more than 1, a personal opinion, but the first two are really good. 3 is doo-doo. I don't like 3. And then you get into, like, Bride and Seed, which, like, those are a little iffy. Some people really like Bride. I don't think Bride's all that bad. Seed is really bad. That's not a good movie. And then you have the new Child's Play, which came out in 2016. That one was, or like somewhere around that, on Netflix. Curse of Chucky, maybe? Was that what it was? Yeah, Curse of Chucky. I don't really remember when that came out, but Curse of Chucky was really good. I really like Curse of Chucky. Then you had Cult of Chucky, which was interesting. And then you have that new one, which is totally not even part of the series. It's the like animatronic one where Chucky's a robot. But to be honest, I think the first two are the only like worth a watch ones, and then Bride maybe, and Curse also maybe. So I think if you have the time, watch it.
All right, moving on to me, good old Jeremiah.
Yeah, Jeremiah.
Personally, you can come attack me all you want on your Reddits and your
Reddits.
Yes. But I hate these movies. I know it's a pretty harsh thing to say, but I literally hate these movies.
Slander.
The slander will be tolerated on my part because I've watched I think I've watched literally all the movies. A little bit of the last one, a little bit of The Curse, but seeing The Bride of Chucky and seeing some pretty messed up scenes of
yeah.
dolls
I'll give you that on Seed.
mingling in a very gracious way. I just can't put it in. I don't want to put it in worth of watch. It's definitely not best of the best, and yeah, I'll put it in mid tier.
If you have the time, that's all I'm gonna say. And now moving on, we have The Conjuring. First of all, we're starting off with Jeremiah.
Conjuring. This is my favorite horror series up to date right now.
Wow.
I mean, if we're only talking Conjuring,
Yeah, the base one, bro.
yeah, the base. I'm doing this off of only like the original.
Okay, so 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, 1, 2,
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, it's fair. Let's do that.
Seeing the first movie is probably one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. It did really well with the shock factor, the scare factor. It was also just like a really entertaining movie in general. Like, it was scary, but it was also like a actually like good written and really well made movie, which really makes me want to put it in best of the okay, sorry. Which really wants me to put it in best of the best. Number 2, I did not see all of, but it doesn't matter because the one is still one. And then recently, I just saw the third one, which is pretty good. All right.
Let me get this one. All right. So, Abraham here. So,
Bible characters.
anyways, so I've seen all 3. The first one was my favorite out of the 3 so far. Although I did really like the third one, which I saw recently, obviously.
I think Jamie
But,
Wan wasn't in on that one. That's interesting.
when I first got into horror movies, that's the first Conjuring was one of the first ones I ever saw, and I liked it. I was pretty terrified of it at the time because I hadn't really been used to seeing horror movies as I was new to them, but I really liked it. As for the second one, I saw that a few months back, and I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I would put the second one probably in like if you have the time, watch it, or watch if you're extremely bored, because I found it slightly forgettable. I thought at parts it was pretty good, but I thought at parts it was also really boring. I felt like it was dragged out at points, and at parts I thought it was pretty action-packed, which I liked, but it was inconsistent. And for the third one, I really liked it. Not as much as the first one, but I liked it a lot. I thought the waterbed scene was pretty cool, for example, for one of those.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's important.
Oh, yeah, sorry. But anyways, I saw, after watching the movie, I went on TikTok, which probably isn't a very reliable source, to see some reviews, and I saw a lot of people kind of hating on the movie.
And then I didn't see much positive
yeah,
reviews.
I saw a lot of negative reviews.
One of my favorite YouTubers gave it like a D+.
Yeah, but I saw a lot of trashing on this movie, which I have to disagree with. I actually liked it, and I thought it was way more consistent than Conjuring 2, so I'm going to have to put that at... I would have to put this franchise as a whole in best of the best. I really like this.
Well, I'm outvoted by my editors here, but the first one's really good. Definitely a horror masterpiece. Right now, I think it's the only R-rated film to have an R rating exclusively for fear, which is definitely telling of how scary it is. I'll give it very scary. 2 is a little wacky. I know there's a really dedicated crowd around 2, and I really like James Wan as a director. You'll see that later on in the tier list. But 2 is a wacky. I enjoyed 3 more than most, for sure. Like, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was actually pretty good. It was definitely entertaining. I think it's worth a watch, for sure. The franchise, best of the best. Modern day, watching those 3 movies as a horror fan, in my opinion, is really necessary. So, yeah, let's go best of the best.
Cool. Alright. Next up, we have The Exorcist.
I think I'm the only one who's seen.
I haven't seen The
All right,
Exorcist.
yeah, it is confirmed that Peterson over here is the only one that's seen The Exorcist. So
Okay, I'm a little rusty on my Exorcist knowledge here. So the first one is a must-watch. If we were just talking about the first one, that is a definite must-watch. Hold up. The first one is, a definite must-watch. So that, if it was only the first one, it'd be going in the very top tier. The Exorcist 2 is not good. That one's really bad. It's not as bad as people say it is because it's just came after The Exorcist, so people really bagged on it. But it's an alright movie, but nothing compared to the original. The Exorcist 3, in my opinion, is actually pretty fun. And then I think there's 2 more after that are just really forgettable, so I didn't bother remembering those, to be honest. But Exorcist 3 is definitely worth a watch, as well as Exorcist 1. So I'd say if you have the time, watch, except for the first one, you should definitely watch that one.
Cool.
Okay.
Next up,
Final Destination.
Final Destination. Now, I've been saying this a lot, but I'm pretty new to horror movies, so I haven't seen much of this. I've seen small parts of the first one, and that's it. So, I'm going to let Jeremiah and the main boy, Moses, take over with this one.
all right, for Final Destination,
This is going to be tough.
it's a tough one, but I would put this in watch if extremely bored. Reasons.
What,
There's
bro?
there's only 2 good Final Destination movies. The first one, just because it's a classic, and then you know what? I enjoyed 3. Like, they're all entertaining. They're just not like they're just not good, if that makes sense. But they're still like entertaining. They're like the Fast and the Furious series. That's a weird comparison, but that's literally all I can say. Yeah, the first one's good, and then the other good one is, what's it called? Is it The Final Destination?
That's the 4th one. It's like the worst. Yeah.
Okay, then
The
I'm
5th is the really good.
yeah. The 5th is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The 1st and 5th, good movies.
Yeah, those are the 2 that tie into each other. Remember, the 5th is a prequel.
Yeah.
It ends on the plane. Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. I'm gonna have to put Final Destination in if you have the time, watch, or maybe even worth a watch. But in order to get a compromise, put it if you have the time, watch. And here's my reasoning why. That movie is so like impactful on your life, and I don't mean that in like a therapeutic way. I mean, like, it gets to a point where whenever you see something that's like sketchy, like a truck with logs behind it, you automatically think of Final Destination. Or if you see like a live wire next to a pool of water, that Final Destination comes to your head, or a sharp object. So if you have something that iconic that really impacts people's lives like that, I think you accomplished your mission in making the movie. So I think all of us can agree. Do you think we should put it in if you have the time, watch?
I disagree, Alex. This is the tiebreaker.
Well, I'm not a very credible source.
do you see me reference Final Destination, though?
Quite a bit. Well, I'm not a very credible source. All I can really say is that I've seen clips from the first one, and I've heard good things about the 5th one. How many Final Destination movies are there?
5.
5, and how many would you say are hits?
I like 1, 2, and 5.
1, 2, and 5. So we're thinking 3 to 2. So we're either leaning towards watch if extremely bored and watch if you have the time. Now, from what I can tell, the first and the 5th movie, you guys can both agree, are really good.
Yeah.
So I'd say those are pretty good hits.
Yeah.
And enough. Would you guys say those 1 and 5th movies are worth a watch?
Yes, I would.
So couldn't you put the median as if you have the time, watch?
I think that's what we should do.
I think we compromised.
Yeah, we're going
I
with
kind of
that.
messed that up, but yeah, here we go. Next up,
Looks like it's Halloween.
yeah,
I think that has to go in must watch.
I think it's best of the best.
I think.
Yeah. So let's run through the movies. After 5, my memory gets a little fuzzy, so excuse me on that. So 1 and 2 are pretty much meant to be watched back to back.
The third one is a little wonky.
The third one actually has a pretty big cult following, but 1 and 2 are meant to be watched back to back. I think 2 takes place like 1 hour after the first one, right? So those are worth watching for sure, those first 2, and I would recommend watching those in one sitting. Then 3 is, in my opinion, a great Halloween movie, so check 3 out. Then you get to the part with his younger cousin, which is when it gets a little wonky in 4. I like 4. The movies were still good then. So, up through 4, all of the movies, in my opinion, are worth watching. Then we have 5. Then we start seeing a really bad downward slope. 6 is horrible. H20 is a return to format. I actually really like H20. Then it's Resurrection, which, that's the one with, like, Ludacris, right? Is that Ludacris?
I think so.
I'm going to look it up. Busta Rhymes. Then I get to the Zombie. Zombies. I get to the Rob Zombie movies. What are your opinion on the Rob Zombie movies?
Okay, opinion on the Rob Zombie movies.
I don't like them.
Rob Zombie, he's really like, he's kind of like a pervy director.
Yeah, he's like a weird director.
He's kind of a weird guy.
Yeah, watch like a House of a Thousand Corpses.
I have seen the Rob Zombie Halloween remake. Is it a remake? I don't know.
It's considered.
I think it's considered a remake.
Have you
So
seen the second remake he made?
no, I have not seen the unrated version, but I hear there's like a lot of really like gross shit in the unrated version. But I do believe that the series really revived itself with the 2018 version. It's not a remake, but
Halloween kills him and Halloween ends.
yeah, Halloween, the 2018 version, is a sequel to literally the entire series,
I thought it did well.
and it did really well, which really
Jamie's good. Jamie's
Yeah.
fun in that.
Jamie Lee Curtis holds up, and this movie had really kept the series relevant.
Yeah.
As a franchise, this franchise is iconic and has to be best of the best, must watch.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna have to agree with
I've
that.
seen 2 movies
Like the
from the
first-
Halloween series, and I really, really liked both of them.
Which one have you seen?
The first one and the second one.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I watched the second one on my own time, and I think I watched the first one with other friends once. But I liked both of them. I want to see more, but from what I have seen, it's best of the best, must watch.
I think it's like the most influential slasher franchise of all time. On my opinion on the Rob Zombie movies is I think Rob Zombie is a really mean director, and by what I mean by like mean is like all of his movies just like make me feel bad. They're a lot of his movies are about like how bad humans can get, and you can really see that in how he took the franchise. So not a big fan of those, but like some people will definitely enjoy them. I know a crowd that really likes the Rob Zombie remakes. So Halloween though, overall, it's one of the first slasher movies of all time. Has the most iconic theme. Can we agree on that? Mm-hmm. So definitely got to go in best of the best must watch. So put that up there.
And one more thing, there are a few different types of, obviously different types of genres of movies in the horror spectrum. And I'm not even like super high on slashers. They're like my third favorite, below like found footage films and like anthologies. I'm pretty high on. I'm not even like a massive slasher guy, and I really, really like this franchise. So we're gonna put in best of the best. One of you two can start this series.
Hellraiser. Hellraiser's okay.
Don't know anything about Hellraiser, so I'm gonna let Petey
I don't
take
think
this
anybody. So this movie is like. Don't watch this. That's all I can give you. The first one is okay, in my opinion. The first one is fun. Then 2 and 3 are both like 3 out of 10 movies, and those are the best sequels in the franchise. So there's like way too many Hellraiser movies, and 90% of them are awful. So don't watch this. I would not recommend wasting like a whole week with this franchise, because that's about what it might take. Definitely like a horrible, just so bad. I don't like it. It's going in terrible. Don't watch, for sure.
All Alright, Matt, I haven't seen any Hellraiser movies, and I'm glad I haven't from what I hear.
Oh, Jaws.
Next up, we got Jaws.
I feel like this is one of those, like, old head movies, you know?
You think this is an old head?
I think this is, like, an old head movie. Like, you say this movie's bad, and all these, like, 90-year-old guys are like, it scared me from swimming back in 1994.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to be like that kid who's like, I hate old things, but the movie, in my opinion, just doesn't hold up. I just think it doesn't hold up.
It's extremely bored.
Oh yeah, and that's not even talking about the franchise.
Yeah.
One is pretty good. 2, 3, and 4 are all, in my opinion, awful. 4 especially. 4 is like top 10 worst movies of all time.
As a whole.
All right, nothing left to say. Jaws, the first one, is a classic, but it just couldn't hold on. So I would put it in watch if extremely bored.
Facts.
I feel like the consensus take is watch if extremely bored, and I'm gonna have to agree with that. Yeah, I feel like it's just like a summer scare that doesn't do very well after the first one, so we're gonna have to move on with that one. I haven't seen any of the Leprechaun movies, so I'm gonna let these guys take it over.
No.
Because the movies are like bad, objectively.
I feel like the movies are supposed to be bad, so like some of them are. He's Leprechaun.
Just bad.
Like he's like a little dude.
We like him. He's the homie.
He is the homie. The movies are just weird.
After 2, that's when they get like.
I feel like people there's really mixed audience scores on this movie. Like some may find it funny. This might be the kind of horror that people appeal to, and then other serious horror fanatics might think that this is just like an ass movie. PD, what do you have to say about this?
I'm sort of. I have my opinion on the series for sure. I think they're all fun, to be honest. Besides the remake, where he's like a, what would you describe it as?
That's
The one where he's like that weird thing where he's not Leprechaun. That one's really bad. It's just called Leprechaun. Is it Leprechaun Returns? Or Leprechaun's like Revenge? 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all good, I think. 3 is the best, where he's in Vegas. 2 is also fun, and 1's pretty good. Then there's the classic Leprechaun in the Hood movies, which, like, the first one's all right, actually. The second one is not very good, but they obviously don't want to be classics, or they obviously don't want to be like Oscar winners. So if I place it in watch if it's extremely bored, I'm not sure how to feel about that, because I usually do get some entertainment out of the movies. Where do we put this?
Watch if extremely bored.
I think that's fair. Watch if extremely bored.
Alright.
Oh,
Scream.
Best of the best, must watch.
Yeah.
I'm already change the horror genre. It's like the first horror movie to satirize. Is that how you say it?
Make satirical.
Yeah, mate. It's the first horror movie that's a satire of horror movies. Yeah. So I just think it's really important to the genre. And 2 is also pretty fun, as it makes fun of horror movie sequels. 3 is it's 3. 4 is like really good in my opinion. 4 is making fun of remakes. So I think, you know what, all of them are really good. They all have Wes Craven behind them. And I wouldn't feel right if I didn't at least get one Wes Craven franchise in Best of the Best. So you know what? Scream, yeah, best of the best.
English, I'd have to agree. It is a great series. I feel like it held on for a really long time. They could possibly make more to the franchise, potential sequels, maybe even like a prequel.
We're making a 5th.
They are making a 5th. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. And if it's a half decent movie, then I would still consider this one of the best.
Needless to say, this franchise is amazing, and the first Scream movie is my favorite horror movie of all time.
I'll agree with you on that.
That's my only 10 out of 10 horror movie. There's probably some more out there that I haven't seen, but this movie has everything. It has scares, twists, and a great plot. So
yeah, the villains are also.
Yeah. I really like how the tactics. What's his name?
Billy and Stu?
No, not well. Yeah, Billy and Stu.
Dewey?
Yeah, Dewey. Dewey's a meme, but I liked Dewey
Yeah,
the
Dewey's
most.
probably the-
Dewey's the man, but I like the slight hints they use, like in the scene where this shouldn't really be much of a spoiler. If you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. But I like the scene where everybody's on the couch at the party watching the movie, and the guy is like, if you have ever drinking, if you're not a virgin.
Yeah, the rules.
Yeah, the horror rules to like die in a horror movie, and all of those come into play, and he doesn't die because he's a virgin. He hasn't drinking anything, so I like that aspect of the first movie a lot as well. Now we have the Purge.
This is when it gets controversial, I feel.
Yeah,
These are gonna be,
I haven't seen
these
the
are
new
gonna be,
Purge
the
either.
hotly debated ones. The Purge. How do I put this? Great idea, bad movies. I think everybody who's watching this has talked about like with their friends, like what would you do in the Purge? Do you think the Purge? What do you think of the Purge? It's like a fun idea, but like the movies, there's three things the movies end up being. Number one, boring. Number two, really random, and number three, just like weird. There's a lot of they all end up being boring in my opinion in a way. I'm not a big fan of them. I think they're just rehashings of the same movie with like slightly different gimmicks. Number one is The Purge. That's our introductory one. Number two, it's The Purge, but you're on the street. Number three, that's election year, right? It's The Purge, but it's election year, and we get the NFFA out of office. Number four, the first Purge, which it's the prequel we all needed. And then this will seem like the last Purge. I'm sort of mixed on how the Forever Purge is going to be, though. So I'll still have to see that. But right now I'm feeling Purge and watch if extremely bored.
I'd have to agree. Only on one thing though that I do disagree with is that I find these movies pretty entertaining. The very first Purge movie, not the one called The First Purge, but the very first one. It was pretty good. I mean, they could have stopped maybe like right there, and it would be a much more respectable movie. But they just kept going and going, and I just feel like they're like kind of milking it by like adding like another thing after another thing.
Dumb gimmicks now.
Yeah.
They've run out of ideas.
Yeah, so that's just how I feel. Enough said.
Just stupid gimmicks. Alex? Or Abraham?
Yeah, Abraham. The Purge, I think it's very, I really like the idea and the direction this movie, or the series, is going in. What do you mean?
Well, what's the direction?
I feel like it was, like you said, great idea, poorly executed, because it was repetitive.
Yeah. Fair.
That's all I gotta say about it.
Okay, I think we all agree. Watch extremely bored. I don't want to put it in terrible because the idea is just that good.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
The Ring.
Dude, these are so forgettable. There's The Ring, Ring 2, and Rings, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
I think so.
Okay.
I haven't seen any Ring movies, so
I've seen all of them. The Ring, 2, and Rings. Oh, and then there's the Japanese one. Why is there 2 rings? Rings. What? So I've seen the Ring 2002, the Rings 2017, and the Ring 2. And like through those, the films are like, the first one is like iconic now. It's embedded into culture, sort of. I mean, we all know Samara. So the first one I think is worth a watch. I think this goes in watch if extremely bored. I don't have much to say on it. I don't think it's that great of a franchise. It's sort of forgettable. Okay.
Ooh.
These are both going to be really controversial, I feel. I have my own opinions on Saw, which I'll get to, but right now we have Texas
You want to go
Chainsaw.
last on Saw?
Yeah, because I think Saw is going to be a divisive one.
Yeah, you can open
Texas Chainsaw.
with TCM.
First one is really good. First one's one of my personal favorites. I love the first one. It's gritty. It's dark. It still manages to have a little fun. And we like Leatherface. Leatherface is the man. It's gory also. It's a good commentary on the meat culture in America. So that's really all I have to say about it. Ton of iconic shots in there. That's my opinion on TCM. I'd give it. The franchise, on the other hand, though, 2 is fun. I'd watch 2 again. Actually, I really like 2. 2's gimmicky though. 2's good enough. 3 forgettable. 4 really bad. Then there's like so many timelines. After that, the movies get pretty forgettable. I'm a big fan of the remake though. I think the remake's really good. So that's my opinion on the whole TCM franchise. I'd give it worth a watch.
So when I first watched the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, I didn't think I would be that scared of this, and I wasn't. But after the fact of the movie, I got a little shook. I don't know why, but the feeling I had was like, it was a weird feeling because I hadn't seen any movie like that yet. And that's why I thought it was a pretty unique movie and why I like it a lot. And I like the idea of Leatherface. And I think the kills are also pretty interesting. The hook is pretty cool, and then the chase with Leatherface and that one girl
Franklin
trying to escape. I thought it was pretty gory, but also there were some weird aspects, like the grandpa. Like when he wasn't he like licking,
like sucking her
yeah, he was like licking her fingers. That was just a weird ad. I thought that like wasn't that much needed, but overall, I thought the movie.
It was needed.
I don't know.
I like that whole dinner scene.
I think that dinner scene was awesome, but the licking of the fingers was weird. But overall, I'd give it worth a watch. I'd give it worth a watch.
Personally, I really like the dinner scene a lot.
Me too.
I'm pretty sure they spent like 18 hours filming
it
that
was, like, 1,000
scene.
degrees.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a really well-made film, and I don't really need to say anything else.
Worth a watch.
Yeah, worth a watch.
You wanna go last on Saw?
Yeah, because I have really strong opinions on Saw.
Okay, Saw. Damn, this is gonna be a tough one. The first Saw movie, pretty good movie. This is one of those series that is also milked.
What's the MF's name? The old dude that had
John
cancer?
Kramer.
Yeah.
Mr. John Kramer, yeah. To me, the Saw movies, they're really weird too. Like, there's just parts that don't make any sense at all, and they keep just adding shit more and more. It's like the Purge series. Like, it gets really loopy. The timeline gets a little bit fucked up. There's like a new apprentice every single movie.
Yeah, it's dumb.
It's like a random guy that just shows up who like apparently was like the first apprentice, and the next movie comes and there was another guy who was like another apprentice. And then you have movies like Jigsaw, which was made pretty recently. I thought that was a pretty well made movie.
I just saw Spiral like yesterday.
Spiral I have not seen.
You should check it out. It's pretty good.
Alright, so I should watch more of these. I've watched one Saw movie, and it was Saw 6, and first of all, I don't know if this is a consensus take or not, but The Apprentice in Saw 6 just pissed me off really bad. Hoffman just sucks. He just pisses me off a lot. You know the part where he when it gets revealed that like he's the bad guy in the police station, when he like kills everybody, he just pisses me off. Although I think I thought it was pretty cool, but I also thought it was really unrealistic how he was able to like 1v5 a bunch of police, like I know, like the entire police station just kind of turned into like a.
Yeah, it gets worse in 7. He hides in a body bag.
But I also think John Kramer, from what I can tell throughout the movies, is kind of an asshole.
He is, but I still like him.
Because from what I can tell, his moral is that like he puts people in the saw traps because
they're very twisted,
for like weird reasons. I don't support smoking at all, but didn't he put someone in a trap for like smoking?
Yeah, he put a smoke in a trap because they smoked.
And
what a crime.
Yeah, his point of putting people in the traps is that they're not valuing life,
and he had cancer. In an unwinnable trap too.
Yeah, I think the fact that there's some unwinnable traps, like in Saw 6 when the smoker has to hold his breath, obviously he's not gonna win that. Yeah. And I thought there were some pretty corny scenes as well. In Saw 6 when the lady's trying to, there's a scene with the lady trying to escape like like a maze with a bunch of heat blowing on her. And once she's able to get to the very end and she needs the key to escape before she like dies from whatever reason. I think it was like a knife up her throat.
Yeah, it was like the
Yeah.
thing. It was the jaw thing.
I thought it was weird how she just grabbed a chainsaw that was just chilling on a table and tried to kill the guy to get the key to escape to not die. I thought that was kind of weird, and how there was just a chainsaw chilling on the table. I thought,
I think it was for the trap though. So she
Really?
I think it was so she couldn't saw him open.
probably,
So
yeah.
she had a very short amount of time.
Yeah, she only had 1 minute, so I thought that was kind of... It wasn't unwinnable, but the chances of it actually happening, because, like, I don't know, she has to navigate... Even if the guy agreed to her chopping open his stomach to find the key to have her escape, I thought that's...
You have to like dig around in his
Yeah,
kidney.
yeah. It's. I thought it was kind of weird. And it wasn't unwinnable, but it's damn near unwinnable.
Yeah.
So, I'll give this one to Moses.
Okay, I'm about to get all the smoke. I'm putting the series in worth a watch, in my opinion. I'll do it film by film. So, the first one is a classic, changed the horror genre, introduced gore to the modern era. Then we have 2, which is probably one of the best films in the franchise, which introduced us to more complex traps. We have the needle pit, which is one of the most cringeworthy scenes in film history, in my opinion. Then we get to 3, which is also a blast, in my opinion. It's a really fun movie. Good traps. The final trap is extremely hard to watch. 4, it's all right. I like Detective Riggs. He's one of my favorite characters in the franchise. The traps are fun. 5, the worst, besides 7, in my opinion. 5 is sort of just boring. 6, in my opinion, was a revival for the franchise. 6 is a really fun movie. Going after the insurance company, the whole, like, you choose who lives and die things, going into the traps, the shotgun carousel. I think it has some of the best traps of the series. The steam traps is one of the hardest to watch. And then we have Hoffman doing the whole bear. Hoffman's dumb in that movie, but the whole bear trap sequence at the end is fun. Finally, we have 7, which is bad. That's all I'm going to say about that one. I don't want to give that one attention. Jigsaw was fun. I really liked Spiral. I thought that movie was a joy to watch. So that's my opinion on the franchise. And I think a lot of them are pretty good. And that's why I'm popular.
So, where are we putting this? Because if I could,
Where-
I would put this in extreme
What,
bored,
bruh?
or if you have the time. I didn't like Saw 6 that much, if I'm being honest. I thought it was fun. I thought
If you have the time.
Yeah,
I
I know I'm not going to change your mind, so.
I thought
Good cheer.
I thought it was exciting, but I thought, I don't know, Hoffman was just an a-hole. He kind of pissed me off, and I thought there were some corny scenes.
That's everything. I guess we
You
could.
guys want to do a bonus round for Evil Dead?
Shit, we forgot Evil Dead, didn't we? Yeah. Evil Dead is in best. Of
I
the
like
best
the
for me.
remake
I'm
a lot.
I'm gonna be real with you, fam. I think Evil Dead is in best of the best. All 4 of them are good.
My
There's not a
favorites.
single bad Evil Dead movie. You can't say that for a lot of films.
Alright, yeah, that's the bonus round.
The reviews back that up too.
Yeah, best of the best for Evil Dead. We
Uh,
can arrange the tiers in order of like.
And
worst to best.
don't forget about the. Did you already end it?
no.
Okay.
I'm arranging the tiers right now.
Don't forget about Ash versus the Evil Dead, the comedy horror series. 99%.
Whoa.
99% Rotten Tomatoes on Netflix. Very impressive.
That's very impressive. Okay, I'm gonna arrange the tiers. So. Whoa. I think this is fair for best of the best, best to worst.
I agree. I haven't watched Alien, but I'll take your word for
This is worth a watch for me. I think now
Friday
TCM.
13th last?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that. If
How
you have the
does everyone
time,
feel about that?
I'll put
Last.
I'm gonna put Exorcist the top here. Then I'm gonna put Saw, Child's Play, Final Destination, or maybe those switched. Do you guys like this?
Yeah.
I'm fine with how this is right now. Maybe these 2 switched.
Yeah, I put Purge in front of Leprechaun.
Yeah, let's go with that. That's the final tier list. So
Are we gonna count
It's a long- this is a
Sinister
long
as
video,
a
man. It's 2 movies,
franchise.
and
I
also,
think it's pretty
both those
short.
films are polar opposites of each other,
Oh, yeah.
quality wise.
The first Sinister is
So I feel like
is
we
a
just
9.
We just put it in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first Sinister is a 9, and the second one is like a 2.
Yeah, the second one is bad, dude. Like it's awful.
That is our
Long
rankings.
video today.
All right, fellas. I'm gonna have to wrap this up.
Yeah.
But thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, and please just remember that don't come at us. This is just our own personal opinions. We're not like horror experts or anything.
Yeah, we're not claiming to be cinema experts. We're just putting our opinions on the web. So
So yeah, thank you for watching, and please drop a like.
thank you.
Bye.